Hi everyone, nice to have you. Avrengost here, this time talking about Void Shadows, the first DLC for Rogue Trader, which is also the first CRPG set in the Warhammer 40.000 universe. I spent a few hours on it, so I thought I'd share some early thoughts. First things first, the DLC was released on the 24th of September, alongside an update for the base game. If you don't own the DLC, the Rogue Trader base game will still receive the update. With this update, besides some bug fixes and substantial optimization work, Owlcat Games has added a few new features. The first noticeable addition is the Iron Man mode, called Grim Darkness. You have only one save that updates when you exit the game. If your entire party dies or your void ship is destroyed, your Grim Darkness run ends. The rewards for completing a successful playthrough in this mode are an achievement and an amulet that revives the wearer once per battle with 20% of their health when they drop to zero. A key difference from Owlcat's Pathfinder game's Iron Man modes is that Rogue Traders is not tied to the difficulty. You can choose and adjust it during your playthrough. As mentioned, defeat is determined not by the main character's death, but by the entire party's demise or the destruction of your void ship. You can convert the Grim Darkness save file into normal one upon defeat, or at any time during your run, but you won't be able to revert it. The second major feature is the addition of a mod and DLC manager in the game's main menu, allowing you to manage all additional content, enabling or disabling it. It appears that they are using Nexus mods as the base for mods. Lastly, they've added some visual enhancements with improved icons for passive abilities and talents, making them easier to identify. Also, abilities and talents now should show the actual modifier applied instead of a formula. While not fully implemented across the board, it's a great addition, and one I've been hoping for since Rogue Trader's release. They also introduced clearer dialogue tweaks and reputation levels for vendors in Chapter 4. Now, about Void Shadows. This DLC is integrated into the main campaign and starts as early as Chapter 1. I won't spoil anything, so I'll speak in general terms or refer to the content they've already revealed. You'll immediately notice new officers on deck, some previously mentioned but unseen in the campaign, like the Infernus Master, and others that make sense for a ship, like the Chief Medical Officer, called Chirurgium Majoris, and the Master at Arms. They all seem to be connected to new quests and to provide new dialogue interactions. You'll also have new areas aboard the Void ship, such as a shrine for high-ranking officers with puzzles to solve, and the Astropathic Choir. The latter are some quests I don't want to spoil, but I have to show you how metal this place is. Astropaths locked into their stations, machines compiling and archiving the descriptions of their visions, and the pipe organ as the central cogitator for the Master Astropath. It's mega gothic, creepy, and beautiful. You can now bathe in your Lord Captain's quarters and ask your companions to join you. I'm almost certain this will tie into the romances, but for now all interactions has been on the comical side, with companions painting the Lord Captain, making me do water resistance exercises, or really creepy stuff with Kibella that I won't spoil. Speaking of the new companion, Kibella is a death cult assassin from a sect living aboard your flagship, and she's romanceable. They'll approach you as early as Chapter 1, inviting you to find their temple on the ship. It's hidden in the lower decks, and this begins the trials and tribulations that Void Shadows story content will put you through for about 15 hours. As far as I understand, you can activate the DLC in an ongoing campaign, but it's best to start a new one. Most of the story content integrates better with the main campaign in Chapters 1, 2, and 4. On the technical side, as I mentioned in the video on the new archetypes, the DLC introduces the Blade Dancer as a Tier 1 archetype and the Executioner as a Tier 2 one. Kibella is a Blade Dancer, a character focused on melee, agility, mobility, and multi-attacks. She can also buff herself and allies by spraying enemies' blood on them. I'm still getting a feel for it, but this seems quite strong. The Executioner is an archetype based on damage over time, and I'm currently testing it on my Pyromancer. They should synergize well. They also introduced new tracks for the game soundtrack.
The tenets of the web teach us to read the threads of the future and understand the hearts of others. When a soul is filled with the poison of corruption, we know its time has come. We bring liberation. 3 strikes, 3 rebukes, 1 blade. This is how we serve the Undying One. This is how we serve you and your flagship.
That wraps up my first impressions of the Void Shadows DLC. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment and subscribe. It helps me reach more people on the platform. Regardless, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Take care of yourself and see you in the next RPG video.